we are going to start in standing. And like I said, you don't have to use your hand weights today. If you're not feeling hand weights, then you just can leave those off. You can just get away with using your throw pillow for a lot of good work. To start, we're going to start with our feet about shoulder distance apart. And we're going to start with the rock the baby sway. So bend one knee and then the other. You're just transferring your weight from one foot to the other, but then we're going to add on with the arms. So we're going to push and pull. So as you lean into one arm, the elbow draws back. And then as you slide out the other hand. So we're just pushing and pulling. So we're moving gently into our arms, into our knees, and then just kind of tuning in and noticing how is your body feeling this morning. Notice your energy level. And even if you can, in this just even stance, get a sense of where your balance is at this morning. We have a couple of single leg and balance challenges today. So just kind of get a sense of where your balance feels like it's at this morning. And then if you would want to use a handhold or a chair or a wall nearby, that's always an option. So you can find the work without having to struggle the whole time just to maintain your balance. Three seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, now it's gonna be a heel walk. So we're gonna pick up our toes and our balls of our feet and we're gonna walk ourselves forward and walk ourselves backwards. So we're just walking on the heels for 30 seconds. As you start to find this work here, keep a nice upright position with the spine. After these 30 seconds of heel walking, it's gonna be toe walking. But if you want that little extra challenge, you're gonna balance your pillow on your head, old school style. So like, remember when we used to practice our posture and you maybe try to balance a book on your head? You're gonna try to balance your pillow on your head. 3 more seconds. All right, so if you want that challenge, grab your throw pillow, place it on your head, lift your heels up, catch your balance, get that pillow balanced, and then when you're ready, start to walk yourself. I say go slow so you find your balance. And then once you've found it, then you pick up the pace just a little bit. Liz, you made it. Hey, Liz, we need a throw pillow this morning, our toe booty band, and hand weights if you've got them. And time, nicely done. Okay, take that pillow off your head, lower your heels down. The next 30 seconds is just gonna be a nice little simple handhold. Arms are gonna lift up and overhead. Arms are gonna lower down nice and slow and controlled. 30 seconds of work there, that's all you gotta do. Lift your arms up. Notice how your shoulders are feeling. Lower your arms all the way down. Five more seconds of work here. And now we're going to take that pillow and pass it under each leg. So it's going to be a little bit of a high knee. Pick one leg up, pass it underneath, pick up your other leg, pass it underneath. Here's where you're going to get a lot of feedback about where your balance is at. Standing on one leg. Nice. So if your balance is feeling just crazy off this morning, and some mornings are just like that. Some days you can stand on one foot for hours, and then some mornings you're like, I'm all over the place. So just kind of get a sense of where you're at, and then you'll know how to adjust when we get to those single leg works. And time, nicely done. Okay, take that pillow, place it right between your thighs, add on with weights if you want to, but it's gonna be a nice squat. So we're gonna maintain that little bit of a squeeze of the pillow between the thighs. Think butt back, bend your knees, come up nice and strong. You go at a pace that feels good to you. It's a lot of work in the quadricep muscles and the inner thighs to maintain that little hold of the pillow. So pace yourself so you feel good. And then if you're feeling like I'm just not getting enough work, grab your heaviest weights you've got, load them up at your shoulders, and add on the weight as needed. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. And time. Nice job. Grab that pillow from between your thighs. Give your legs a little shake. It's going to be 30 seconds, one leg, 30 seconds on the other. How you choose to do the work here, I'm going to give you two options before I even set the timer. You might choose to just hold on to a wall or a chair or whatever you've got and give a good pendulum swing, but let the leg kind of fly freely. Or you might choose to be a more controlled maneuver. Balance your pillow on your head. Find that nice upright posture. You can still hold on to the wall, but now you're going to go slow and controlled. So you choose the variation that you like the best. What are you working on for yourself? If you're working on control and balance, you're going to balance the pillow. If you're working on rehabbing and creating a little bit of mobility in your hip, you might choose to go with a little bit of a free flying pendulum swing and let the leg be kind of loose in the hip joint. So you choose the variation that might feel good to you this morning. No right or wrong, it's just what you're working on personally. Ten seconds left on this leg. All right, when you're ready, switch to the other side. Ten seconds left, you got this. And time, nicely done. Okay, give your legs a good shake. Now, here's an option to use either the pillow or you're gonna load up with hand weights, but it's gonna be alternating rear lunges. So we're just gonna step back into a nice little lunge, come back through center, other leg is gonna step back. If you want to add on, grab your hand weights, load up at the shoulders, same bit of work, or grab your pillow, hold it at the chest. It just gives you a sense of feedback. As you step back into your lunge, you'll push the pillow forward, bring it back to your chest, alternate to the other side. So you choose the variation that feels good to you this morning. If pushing out from the chest doesn't feel good, maybe pushing up and overhead. We want to keep that nice upright position with the spine. We're working the quadricep muscles. We're working the glute muscles. You even get a little bit of work in your ankle and shins. Nice work, you guys. Beautiful. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to come to some single leg work. It's going to be 30 seconds on one leg, 30 seconds on the other. So we're going to hold a single leg stance and take it into a wood chopper. So we're going to bring a little bit of overhead reach, bring it over to the hip. So it's a rotation in the spine, and we're working those core muscles, also working the standing leg. 30 seconds standing on one leg. You can use your throw pillow, or you can use a single hand weight held sideways. So you choose what level of work you want here. If this feels challenging enough with just the throw pillow, stick with that. You're still working your standing leg, your core, your shoulders, everything's firing off. You don't necessarily need some super heavy weights to find really great work here. All right, when you're ready, switch your leg and then switch your wood chopper to the other side. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Shake out your standing legs. And now we're going to set the pillow down on the floor. Now you'll choose, once you get there, whether or not this is a good challenge for you. Place your pillow on the floor. It's going to be a staggered stance deadlift. So grab your hand weights. One arm is going to do the row. One arm is going to stay in a hang. One foot is going to stagger stance onto the pillow. So you're going to place your foot onto the pillow. That's going to create a nice little imbalance. So it's going to challenge our stance a little bit. We hinge from the waist, fold over to that deadlift position. Just the leg that's behind you, the leg that's on the pillow, that's the arm that's going to do the row. The other arm is going to stay in that hang position. Squeeze your glutes, come back up. Hinge forward. One arm does the row, lower it down, come back up, squeeze your glutes. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're doing both sides 1 minute. So just work on this side. You find a pace that feels good to you. If you feel like the pillow underneath your foot creates too much of an imbalance, leave that off, stagger your stance with your foot on the ground. Beautiful, you guys. That looks awesome. Nice work. You're already halfway there on this side. And time. Nice job. Come on up. Give everything a good shake. We're switching over to the other side. So if you need to move your pillow, move your pillow. But now we're going to change our staggered stance. So your other foot is going to be on the pillow. And that means the other arm is doing the row. We hinge from our waist in that folded over position. The left arm, if the left foot's on the pillow, that's the arm that does the row. Come back up, squeeze your glutes. You got it. We got 1 minute on the clock. You work it at your pace. Go to the depth of work that feels good to you. If you've got here and that pillow under your foot feels like it's not creating a good amount of work for you, leave it off. Nice form, Mara. That looks awesome. And time. Awesome job. Step off your pillow, give everything a good shake. The next one is going to be an overhead circle. You're going to go either single weight or throw pillow. So that's going to be totally up to you, but we're just going to bring it up and overhead, and we're just going to draw circles on the ceiling. So we're going to circle around. We're going to keep a slight firmness in the belly. You choose your adventure here, pillow or weights. That's totally up to you, but we're going to keep our arms nice and up and overhead. Nice upright posture. Try not to let the chest and everything arch and puff up. Want to keep the abdominal muscles pulled in, shoulders nice and strong. We're circling in one direction and then we'll switch in 30 seconds. All right, when you're ready, switch directions, circle the other way. And time. Nice job. Lower your arms, give everything a good little shrug. Now we're going to come down into a high kneel position, moving into some Z-sits. Option here to place the pillow on the ground and put your knees on the pillow, but that is going to challenge your balance a lot. So why do we do high kneel positions? It's mainly because standing on our knees creates a little bit of an imbalance and it makes us work our core a little bit more. So you can choose to take a hand weight, load it up in front of you, lean back into that Z-sit, come back up nice and slow and controlled, or place the pillow under your knees. It will provide cushion under your knees, but it will also create a little bit more of a challenge. So you take it at the depth that seems appropriate to you this morning. When we're doing this work here, we want to think about keeping our butt cheeks squeezed, tailbone slightly tucked, so that the pubic bone is staying connected to the ribs and our center is staying nice and strong. And time. Nicely done. Lower your arms down, give everything a little shake. We are going to use that single weight again. So if you put your weight down, go ahead and grab it. We're going to hold that weight out in front of us, and then we're going to drive the car. So we're going to turn one way, turn the other way, come back to center, give a bicep curl, send it out again. Turn the car, turn it the other way, come back to center, and bicep curl. The whole entire time here, we're keeping the butt cheeks squeezed so our butt is nice and strong, belly is nice and firm. There's not a lot of movement happening in the lower half of the body. In that high kneel position, we create a little bit of a challenge of our balance to keep our center nice and strong. You got it. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Set that weight down. We're going to come into a low plank variation. So elbows and forearms are going to be down on the ground. And then we're going to keep the knees down to start. See how that feels. And now you might choose to keep knees down and alternate picking up one knee and then the other, or pick both knees up and alternate touching one knee down and then the other. Big thing here, we want to keep our shoulders nice and braced, our belly nice and firm. I'm going to keep my knees down. I'm still taking care of my energy levels here, but you choose the variation that you like the best. You can keep the knees up the whole time or keep your knees down, but we're alternating. One knee touches down and then the other. You got it. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Okay, we're rolling on to one side. It's going to be 30 seconds on the top leg and then 30 seconds on the bottom leg. So start with a little side lying position with your knees bent, but then we're going to extend the top leg and lift it up, lower it down. 30 seconds of work here. That's all you got to do. Keep the upper part of the body nice and engaged. So we're not dropping or collapsing. The ribs aren't sinking down. Ribs are lifted, shoulder is braced. The whole upper body is nice and strong. Range of motion on that leg lift, whatever feels strongest to you. We want to feel the work coming out of the side of the thigh, side of the glutes specifically. 5 more seconds of work on that leg. All right, now bend that knee, set it down, extend the bottom leg, lift that bottom leg, 30 seconds of work. Same principles with the upper body. We stay nice and strong. Nice work, you guys. You look solid. Awesome. 5 seconds left. You got this. And time. Awesome. Now we're going to flip over to the other side. I'm just going to spin around so I'm facing out, but you flip in a way that works right for you. Find that bent knee position first, solidifies the top half of the body, extend that top leg, and away we go. Lifting up and lowering down, the toes and knees are pointing forward. For this maneuver here, for me, it's not about how high the leg kicks up or even how fast. It's how controlled are you, and are you finding that work coming out of the side of the thigh and out of the side of your butt. 10 seconds left here. All right, set that leg down, extend the bottom leg, and we're lifting the bottom leg up and lowering. You get less range of motion here, and now we're working those inner thigh muscles. Ten seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, we're sitting onto our butt. You're going to place your pillow out in front of you, in between your legs, and now we're going to take it in some hip flexor hops. So we're working those hip flexor muscles. Think about where your hip crease is or where those front pockets are. We're going to sit up nice and tall. You can place hands in those hip creases so you feel the work, or place your hands wherever you feel the strongest. Sometimes hands on the ground to support is the way to go, so you maintain that tall uplifted spine. We're hopping across, we're reaching our heel towards the ankle and then bringing it over to the other leg. We got 1 minute on the clock. Now, once you've got this movement pattern down, you can go as fast or as slow as you like, but we do want to maintain control. If you feel like you're not challenged quite enough, you're going to place hands behind the head. Head is going to push into the hands. Hands are going to push into the head, so we keep that nice, beautiful posture. Nice work, you guys. "20 seconds left. You got this." And time. Nice job. Okay, give your hips a little shaky, shaky. And now grab your toe booty band. We're going to place that toe booty band around the 2 big toes. Once you've got it around the 2 big toes, just make sure it's nice and flush, no little wrinkles in your band. And then send your legs out in front of you. We're going to step the feet just apart so that we create a little space between the feet. Activate your toes, spread your toes as wide as you can. Keep and maintain that resistance on your band. And now we're going big toes down and big toes up. So if you can get big toes to go down and the 4 small toes to lift up, you're going to work big toes down, 4 toes move in opposition, but you might just choose to focus on the big toes. So you find the work where you're at today. Keeping and maintaining that nice tension on the band. So the big toes are moving down. Keeping the feet nice and solid, nice and strong. Doesn't matter how much range of motion you get, so much as you want to get that little bit of tension on that toe band. And then we're moving through the toes with strength and control. 20 seconds left of work here. All right, now we're going to keep that tension on the band, and now we're going to pedal the feet. So toes are going to stay fairly stable, but we're going to keep that nice generous spacing between the toes, keep the toes active and separated, but now we're pushing the balls of the feet. So we're pedaling through the feet, but keeping that tension on the band. You go only range of motion where you're not pulling on the big toe where it's yanking it and disjointing it. So we want to keep a nice strong position with the feet. Nice, Liz. Woo woo. Chef's kiss. That looks awesome. Great job. You're already halfway there. Don't lose that tension on your toes. Keep your feet nice and strong. We got 10 seconds left. You can do it. Woo, and time. Relax your toes. Remove that toe band and then just give everything a nice jiggle wiggle. Wiggle your toes, shake out your ankles. If you felt that in your shin muscles, that's awesome. Give everything a nice soft wiggle and then set your toe band aside, bend your knees. Now we're going to take it into a halfway roll back. So you're either going to go hands free, like you're holding a little bit of a tree, a little hug position with the arms, curl your tailbone, engage the abdominal muscles, just come to that halfway roll back part, and then lift up, restack your spine. Or you're going to hold onto your thighs. So you're going to find the supported position if that feels better for you this morning. So you might choose to hold onto your thighs, curl the tailbone under, round back, lift back up, restack the spine, or go hands free, but keep that control in your center. You've got it. If you're working on that breath work, you're going to exhale on the effort. So the exhale will probably happen as you get right back to that point where the abdominal muscles kick on. There's your exhale. And then you lift yourself back up. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now you're going to take your hand weights with you down to the ground if you want an add-on for your chest. But we're going to take our throw pillow, place it between the inner thighs, come down onto your back. We're going to keep that pillow between the inner thighs and start to find some hip bridges here. So we're going to hold that pillow between the thighs. And first, we're just going to find that hip bridge, lifting your butt up, squeeze your glutes, lower back down with control. This might be enough work for you. This might be where you're at this morning. But if you just are like, I want just a little bit more, you're going to lift up, push up, lower down. You got it. Whatever variation feels like the way to go here. If you feel like you get there and adding those weights just doesn't feel great for you this morning, leave the weights off. But if all is feeling good, we squeeze those glutes, lift up into that bridge, maintain that little bit of a pressure on the pillow to keep it between the legs. You're already halfway there. Nice work. If you like that breath connection, you're going to exhale as you lift your butt up and inhale as you lower everything back down. And time. Set your weights off to the side. Our last minute of work, it's going to be leading with the right hip for 30 seconds and then leading with the left. So we're going to lift the right hip up and then lower the right hip down. So it's going to feel like a little bit of a figure eight with the hips. Lift your right hip up, lower your right hip down. Keep that pillow between the thighs if that feels good. If it keeps too much control and you don't have freedom to move the hips, you might choose to take the pillow out from between your thighs. Right hip lifts up, right hip lowers down. We got 10 more seconds on this side. All right, now switch over to the other side. Left hip is going to lead the lift. Left hip is going to lead the lower. So we're just sticking with that left side, lifting up and lowering down. And time. Nice job. Grab that pillow from out from underneath your thighs. Step your feet just a little bit wider and take some nice big windshield wipers here, dropping the knees side to side, creating just a little bit of fluidity back into those hips. That can be a lot of work in that front pocket area for those hip leads. Nice. One more windshield wiper each side, and then we're going to come to a nice upright seated position where we're going to take our pillow, tuck that pillow underneath the bend of your knees so you keep a nice bent knee position. Once you've got that pillow tucked under your knees, take a nice big breath, reach up and overhead. Exhale, reach towards your feet. We're going to touch the sides of the feet, slide up the sides of the legs, pull everything up, and then reach up and overhead. Exhale, reach towards your feet. Does not matter if you can touch your feet, slide up the sides of the legs, reach your arms up and overhead. This time we're going to fold and hold. So fold yourself as far as feels good to you. Make sure your back feels happy. If you feel like there's any pinching or shooting pain in the back, you're going to come up a little higher. So you're folding forward just as much as feels good. Take one more breath. Awesome. Come up nice and slow. Bend your knees. Move that pillow out from underneath you. Come all the way up to a standing position. Once you've come up to that standing position, both arms are up and overhead, we're going to grab one wrist, lift, lean away, take a nice big side bend. Awesome. Lift up and switch your grip, lift up and lean away. Beautiful. Lift up. We're going to step the left leg across the right. So crisscross your ankles, line up your pinky toes best you can, and then we're going to start to walk down. How far you fold, whatever feels the most comfortable to you. Come up nice and slow. You can walk your hands up or just softly come up and then uncross your legs, switching over to the other side. So recross your legs. Once you've got that crisscross set up, you walk down to the depth of a fold that feels right to you. Nice. When you're ready, come up nice and slow, uncross your legs, give everything a good shimmy shake. You guys are amazing. Grab your foam roller if you're sticking around.